Kako was the second vessel in the two-vessel Furutaka class of heavy cruisers in the Imperial Japanese Navy. The ship was named after the Kako River in Hyogo Prefecture, Japan. Background: Kako and her sister ship Furutaka were the first generation of high-speed heavy cruisers in the Japanese Navy, intended to counter the U.S. Navy Omaha-class scout cruisers and Royal Navy Hawkins-class heavy cruisers. Service career. Early career. Kako was completed at Kawasaki Shipbuilding Corporation at Kobe on 20 July 1926. Assigned to the 5th Squadron from then until 1933. She served in Japanese and Chinese waters, participating in fleet maneuvers and combat operations off the China coast. Kako was given a major refit in 1929-30, improving her machinery and slightly changing her appearance. Briefly operating with Cruiser Division 6 in 1933, Kako was in the Naval Review off Yokohama in late August. She went into guardship status in November of that year and into reserve in 1934. In July 1936, Kako began an extensive reconstruction at Sasebo Navy Yard, which was completed by the 27th of December 1937. At this time, the ship's 6 single 200mm main gun turrets were replaced by 3 203.2mm twin turrets. In late 1941, Kako was in Cruiser Division 6 under Rear Admiral Aritomo Goto in the 1st Fleet with AOBA, Furutaka and Kinugasa. At the time of the attack on Pearl Harbor, she was engaged in support for the invasion of Guam. After the failed first invasion of Wake, Crew Diff 6 was assigned to the larger second invasion force, and after the fall of Wake, returned to its forward base in Truk, Caroline Islands. For the 18th of January 1942, Crew Diff 6 was assigned to support Japanese troop landings at Rabaul, New Britain and Kavieng, New Ireland, and in patrols around the Marshall Islands in unsuccessful pursuit of the American fleet. In March and April 1942, Crew Diff 6 provided support to Crew Diff 18 in covering the landings of Japanese troops in the Solomon Islands and New Guinea at Buka, Shortland, Kieta, Manus Island, Admiralty Islands and Tulungi from a forward base at Rabaul. While at Shortland on 6 May 1942, Kako was unsuccessfully attacked by 4 United States Army Air Force's Boeing B-17 Flying Fortresses, but was not damaged. Battle of the Coral Sea. At the Battle of the Coral Sea, Crew Diff 6 departed Shortland and effected a rendezvous at sea with light aircraft carrier Hyogo. At 1100 on 7 May 1942, north of Tulungi, Hyogo was attacked and sunk by 93 Douglas SBD Dauntless dive bombers and Douglas DBD Devastator torpedo bombers from the aircraft carriers US, Yorktown and Lexington. The following day, the 8th of May 1942, 46 Solomon Islands Dauntlesses, 21 TBD Devastators and 15 Grumman F-4F Wildcats from Yorktown and Lexington damaged the aircraft carrier Shokaku severely above the waterline and forced her retirement, as Furutaka and Kinugasa, undamaged in the battle, escorted Shokaku back to Truk. Kako and AOBA continued to cover the withdrawing Port Moresby invasion convoy. After refueling at Shortland on 9 May, Kako was stranded on a reef entering Queen Corolla Harbor, but was soon refloated. Kako returned to Kure Naval Arsenal on the 22nd of May 1942 for repairs, and returned to Truk on the 23rd of June, and from Truk to Ricata Bay, Santa Isabel Island, where she was assigned patrols through July. In a major reorganization station of the Japanese Navy on 14 July 1942. Kako was assigned to the newly created 8th Fleet under Vice Admiral Mikawa Gunichi and was assigned to patrols around the Solomon Islands, New Britain and New Ireland. Battle of Savo Island. On 8 August 1942, north of Guadalcanal, a three-seat Ichi-13A1 reconnaissance floatplane launched from Kako was shot down by an SPD Dauntless of VS-72 from the aircraft carrier US Wasp. This was the prelude to the Battle of Savo Island the following day. On 9 August, the four heavy cruisers of Crude F-6, the heavy cruiser Chokai, light cruisers Tenyu and Yubari and destroyer Unagi engaged the Allied forces in a night gun and torpedo action. At about 2300 Chokai, Furutaka and Kako all launched the reconnaissance floatplanes. The circling floatplanes dropped flares illuminating the targets and all the Japanese ships opened fire. The cruisers US Astoria, Quincy, Vincennes and HMAS Canberra were sunk. The cruiser US Chicago was damaged, as were the destroyers Ralph Talbot and Patterson. Kako's gunfire hit Vincennes in the hangar and destroyed all of her Curtis Sock Seagull floatplanes. On the Japanese side, Chokai was hit 3 times, Kinugasa twice, Aoba once. Furutaka and Kako were not damaged. On 10 August, Crude F-6's 4 cruisers were ordered unescorted to Kavieng, while the remainder of the striking force returned to Rabaul. At 0650, the American submarine SS-44 sighted Crude F-6 on a track less than 900 yards away and fired for Mark Chapter 10 torpedoes from 700 yards at the rear ship in the group, which happened to be Kako. At 0708, 3 torpedoes hit Kako. The first struck to starboard abreast the number 1 turret. The other torpedoes hit further aft, in the vicinity of the forward magazines and boiler rooms 1 and 2. Kako had all of her portholes open, and within 5 minutes she rolled over on her starboard side and exploded as seawater reached her boilers. At 0715, Kako disappeared bow first in the sea off Simbari Island at 2.467 degrees south, 152.183 degrees east, -2.467, 152.183 in about 130 feet of water. Aoba, Furutaka and Kinugasa rescued Captain Takahashi and most of Kako's crew, but 34 crewmen were killed. Kako was removed from the Navy list on 15 September 1942.